Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, in the building. Stretch it out, you know what I'm saying? A little shoulder action, you know what I mean? You gotta, sometimes you gotta, good morning. Because we gotta get ready for a show right now.
That's right.
Oh boy, what is good, Chicago? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Of course, joined by Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC in the building. Got a lot to get to on today's episode. Want to talk about Matt Eberflus. Is he proving himself to be the right guy? Is he proving Ryan Poles right? Want to talk about why you got to look at Flus a little bit differently, but why in theory things are going in the right direction. And then, can the Chicago Bears go out here and get their first 3-game streak since 2019?
Hey,
that's a long time ago, ladies and gentlemen. Very different quarterbacks under the helm at that point. 2 different quarterbacks under the helm, actually. Well, 4, actually. I guess if you count all of them. Anyway, the date is 10/8/2024. It's a Tuesday morning. And let me tell you something. The Bears still won on Sunday. Let's go. Hey. Good morning, Chicago. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love to another edition of the Morning Breeze. Make sure that you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. A lot of people subscribing lately, man. Appreciate you guys for showing love. I mean, our numbers have jumped crazy work over the last few weeks. I mean,
amazing.
We have, what were we at, 35,000 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And we're at 37.4 right now. So good to see that we're getting in the algorithm and doing things the right way. I like that. They tried to hold us down, JC.
They can't do it.
They tried to hate on us, JC.
They can't do it.
I mean, they can. They kind of did it, but it's better now. They can. They did it.
Well, God dang it, we're good.
We lost the channel for 3 months, basically. I mean,
we did.
They did hate on us. I mean, they can. It sucks, but it is what it is. No, appreciate you guys for tuning in, showing love. Let's start off the show. Right. First off, good morning to Breeze Nation in this mug. Yeah. Oh, Bardon from Iowa. We getting yurts all the way in Iowa, my guy. DeMarco Smith out there. Hey, DeMarco.
Not like DeMarco.
DeMarco, what you doing in Iowa, bro? Do you play there? I'm just asking questions
that need answers.
It's not a lot. I feel like there's not a heavy DeMarco
population
in Iowa. So it's you.
Wow.
What you doing there? What's going on?
Hey, man, leave DeMarco alone.
Shout out DeMarco, man. Shout out DeMarco. Doug Dyer in the building. Ryan Helm in the building. Lamont Brown in the building. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, man. Nova in this mug, man. Chadwick in here. Chadwick, a strong name. Chadwick, you in Iowa as well? Or y'all, everybody Chadwick and a DeMarco in Iowa?
Morning. Shout out Nova.
Oh man, let's get into the show, man, because I listen, we all know that Pat the Designer in this offseason was not here for Matt Eberflus's return.
Neither was I.
But you have to have a conversation on what we've seen through 5 weeks of football, how this season has gone. And dare I say, at every step of the way, and I've been up there for a lot of it, right? I've been up there to see kind of, how Flus has made some adjustments in training camp, how he's approached things, that a lot of the things that we asked of him. And when people do the things you ask of them, you got to give them the benefit of the doubt. You got to give them a little bit of leeway. Why? Because very rarely do the Bears do what we ask of them. I don't understand how Bears fans at this point are mad at this point in the season because we're 3-2 right now. And like the preseason hopes weren't, hey, be 3-2 because you thought we were going to lose to the Rams and thought we were going to lose to the Texans. Like all of a sudden the expectation was 5-1. And I'm like, when did that happen? I missed that expectation. But I think that this is you have to look at Matt Eberflus a little bit differently than you look at other coaches around the NFL because he's one of the few defensive-minded head coaches you have left in this league. But I do think that the similar ways we look at them should be done for Flus here. When you look at offensive minds, what do? Right? You go, how's the offense look? Are offensive players developing?
How are they performing?
How is the team looking overall? Is the team getting better?
Yeah.
That's usually how you evaluate. Coaches kind of in Flus's situation, right? Where you're coming off of a rebuild, you're building things up. The reason I say you got to look at it a little bit differently is because we don't see many defensive head coaches, but with those same things in mind, is the Bears defense good? According to PFF, it's the second best defense in the NFL.
Hey, now. All right. That sounds good to me.
Sounds phenomenal to me. According to PFF, right now, the Chicago Bears are the second best defense in the NFL. Are players developing on this team? Not only on the defensive side, but dare I say, even on the offensive side, we're seeing development out of players week in and week out. Is the team winning? Your team is finding ways to win. Is it lost some games that we felt they should have won? Yeah. Look around the NFL.
Yeah.
You think the San Francisco 49ers think they should have won that game versus the Cardinals? You think the Seattle Seahawks think they should have beat the Giants?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So look around the NFL. We can't just hold only Matt Eberflus to that standard.
Yeah.
And do we think that this team is developing a culture? I do. I think that Matt Eberflus last week showed some teeth that I did not expect him to show, especially by the time it got to that kerfuffle at the end of the game.
Oh, little right.
Little kerfuffle at the end of the game.
Yeah.
It feels like Matt Eberflus is showing me something that I haven't seen from a Bears coach in a very long time. I asked Lance Briggs this yesterday, because we clearly didn't see it out of Nagy. You didn't see it out of Tressman for sure.
Oh, no,
and I asked Briggs yesterday, I was like, did you have a coach that was like this? And he talked about how Lovie Smith, they were going into a game versus Atlanta, and Lovie Smith basically said had a roll of clips that showed them just pummeling players into the dirt, and they were they were dirty. They were playing a little dirty.
Well, he
said, if they want to play that way, you make sure they know we can play that way. And they walked out on the field in the first play. There was a big fight because, it was putting some people in the dirt.
We've seen evidence of Lovey screws have a certain attitude. He screwed his own team over that actually benefited us.
Yeah, But I just 5 weeks into the season, the growth I've seen out of Flus, the changes I've seen out of Flus, the mindset changes. Last week was another mindset change for me because what did we say on the morning show, JC? Hey, just because you go up 27-7 doesn't mean you can't go up 50-7, right? Don't take your foot off the gas. We got into that second half. Yes, you got to run some clock. You got to run some plays and stuff like that. But the first drive of that second half, he was not taking his foot off of the gas. Throughout that second half, he did not take his foot off of the gas. He maybe didn't say, hey, we're going to go down here and take risks and try and kill these guys, which I'm okay with that, I guess. I don't want you to turn the football over and give them any life. But another thing that I said, hey, Flus, don't do this because it didn't work for you last season. He went, yeah, that didn't work. We're not going to do that. That's another mindset change that makes me feel better about my head coach right now. And dare I say, I think that Matt Eberflus is becoming the head coach that the Chicago Bears have dreamed of having since Lovie Smith.
Man, it makes you feel good because honestly, I mean, I've talked about this plenty of times, how the Bears need to find their identity. And I don't just mean the players on the field, and in the run game versus the pass game, and the right players out there, the right schemes, the right personnel. I'm talking about from top to bottom. They have to have the right identity, and that includes the head coach. And yes, I was right along there with you last year. I said, we're getting everybody out of the building, out of the organization, off of the team that didn't do their job well. And Matt Eberflus was the one guy that at the end of the season you could kind of say, okay, he has an excuse for sticking around because as a defensive minded head coach, once we got some better players, the defense looked extremely better at the end of the season. Those last 6 games, entering Montez Sweat, our defense looked like it changed for the better. And so we said, okay, well, let's see what he does going into this season. And that's what I believe is that, at the end of the day, a head coach gets credit when your team looks better, when it's more talented, when it has a roster that's improving, that's special, that has skilled players all over the place. So you obviously have to give credit, but at the same time, I believe that Matt Eberflus is evolving into a better head coach. He's just not a defensive-minded guy. You can see his hand in different areas. You can see his aggressiveness in his play calling. You have to give credit even to Shane Waldron on that as well in changing up certain things, but that's still backed by the head coach. Matt Eberflus is a guy who obviously has gotten the players brought in to his hit principle. Obviously, we would love them for them to continue to buy into the KISS principle as well, as we've stated plenty of times. But it's a team that's backing their coach. You can see it. You love, again. I love that play where you say, "Hey, after you all want to get rough with us, okay, let's go for two." Didn't even convert it, but the fact that they did that when they didn't have to, it was almost like a screw you to the other team. I love to see that, and he has to keep that up.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's here's the thing for me, right? When I look at Matt Eberflus moving forward, is that do we have a guy here who is one of the best tacticians in the league? We do. Now, is it on the other side of the ball? 100%.
Yeah.
Right. And that's not normally what you're looking for, because you want the offensive guy in this offensive world to be that guy. But do we have one of the best defensive tacticians in the NFL? We do. We have one of the guys that can go toe to toe with the best OCs in this league. We saw him go to toe to toe with a guy who was heralded as the obvious head coaching candidate coming out of this season, right? And last season, and Bobby Slowick. We saw him go toe to toe with one of the best to ever do it versus the Rams, right? Like you're talking about a guy who is one of the best defensive tacticians in the NFL. But that's not sexy anymore, right? We only want to talk about the offensive tacticians. What are the offensive guys doing? How do the offensive guys play? Because that's where the league is going. It's a more offensive league. I understand the mindset, but I don't think that you can take away from what Matt Eberflus is doing because of the mindset. Do you have a guy that has his guys running around full speed all the time? You do. And do you have a guy that's not neglecting the other side of the football? You do.
Yeah.
To the point where we were, what was that, week 3? When did we lose to the Colts? Week 3, right?
Week 3.
We're 3 weeks into the season. 6:30 in the morning. Shane, step in my office real quick, my guy. Come on. You come
the
here.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Hold on. Let me do I gotta hold on. Shane, come on in here. Shane, come on in here. Just want to put the tape on real quick. What was that? Speed option on the goal line? This ain't Little League. What the? Hold on. Let me show you this right here. Four straight. Roshan Johnson got the first down. You like that, right? 4th and 1. It was cute, right? It was cute, right? Never saw him again. You know what I mean?
Hey.
And I had to commend it. Like when we had heard about that, when he had did that, I had to commend him because guess what? He didn't do that with Luke Getsy.
Yeah.
He didn't tell Luke Getsy, hey, don't do what you're doing. Don't run your scheme. Maybe he was ready to get the quarterback out of there. He was like, Luke, you keep doing what you're doing, brother.
Go right ahead.
But you didn't see that with the previous team. 3 weeks into this season, you're starting to hear some of the clamorings of last season. You're starting to hear some of the like, yo, Flus, this is the same stuff we saw with this, dog. Nobody wants to. What are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Nah, we get him out of here, dog. Like if he's gonna do this, we saw this already.
Yeah.
Hey, step into my office, Shane. Shane, come here. Come here, Shane.
You're not about to get me fired.
Come here. I need no closer, a little bit closer, Shane, a little bit closer. Get that shit done. You ever run speed option on the goal line again? We ain't seen that play call one time since. Hey, Flu said pick it. Screen option or Gerald Everett screens or the speed option on the goal line. And it better not be speed option on the goal line.
I swear to God, no, don't you do it. Take that mess out your playbook.
But that's what a head coach does.
Yeah.
And yeah, it took some time for him to get there. Yes, it took some growing pains for him to get there, but it also took a team to be built for him to get there.
Dare I say it took him growing a beard? No.
Growing pain. Yeah. Okay. All right. I see what you did there. I don't know if I like it, but I see what you did there.
I actually, I'm looking at the chat and I agree with you, but you have some that are saying, hey, they only beat 3 junior varsity teams. I see Joshua Simmons' comment. He says, I'm unimpressed. Well, here's the reason why you should be impressed. Going back again to your points. It wasn't just the teams, yes, that they're statistically weak. They didn't have some of their star players, by the way. You beat a Rams team that didn't have Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, but you still beat one of the best coaching minds in the game that knows how to work around that still has one of the better.
Who had just beat the 49ers.
Who had just beat the 49ers. Like you still went up against better coaches that have a better resume, championship, mind you, Super Bowl winning coaches that have a better resume than you, and you went toe to toe and won. And so that's where I'm impressed. It's not just about who's on the field and who's not on the field. It's about the ones that are calling the plays, because sometimes those win the games, even when the talent level isn't at its best. You have a mind for the game, you can still win. Bill Belichick showed you that many times, and so there's that. You can't overlook that the evolution of Matt Eberflus. And just like we said, we preach patience with Caleb Williams and the Nick Saban talking about. Hey, we should have preached patience with Matt Eberflus. He's continued to put his stamp on this team, his identity on this team, and we see it growing before our eyes. And what's going to be impressive, obviously, if you're not impressed with the teams that we're playing now, is hey, how will he look when we go up against Matt LaFleur and Dan Campbell and all those other guys who are obviously the best in this division at this point? That could be the litmus test too.
By the way, just while we're in here, you were making some phenomenal points. Oh, well, honey in the chat. Good morning. Good morning, ladies and
gentlemen. To you guys.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Here's my problem when people say that, right? I keep beat 3 junior varsity teams, and this ain't a shot at you, but
yeah, you brought it up.
It's a shot at your comment. It's a shot at the comment. It's a shot at the comment, right? Would you rather they lose?
There's that.
Like, would you rather them not beat the teams? Would you rather them struggle against the teams because they beat the Panthers pretty handedly? They beat the Rams pretty handedly. And in the first game of the season, your defense literally, by the way, the side of the ball that he focuses most on, won you the game.
Yeah.
Literally won you the game. So would you rather they lose those games? Are you not giving them credit for winning those games? Like, what is the mindset of, well, you beat teams that suck. So, well, yeah, we beat the Lions last season. He beat Dan Campbell last season. He beat the Vikings last season. Very different Vikings team than what we got right now, but he beat the Vikings last season. He beat well, he didn't beat the Packers last season. I'll give you that.
Yeah, we still got to get over that hurdle.
And like it's just, to me, I'm not taking away from what he's done this season because he beat the teams that the NFL said, all right, these are the guys you played.
Mhm.
And because he went toe to toe with one of the better teams in the NFL in the Houston Texans with a quarterback that was still trying to figure it out behind an offensive line that won't. I'm not going to besmirch where I think he's at as a head coach because we don't like the competition of teams he's playing. You know what I mean? Like that's just, it's always a weird thing for me when Muzz are just like, well, he beat the team that was on his schedule this week. I'm not impressed by that. I get it. Like, yeah, they suck, but we stomped them into the dirt.
Yeah. We said, hey, what if this team, you said it yesterday, what if this team loses or rather wins by only 3? I
If they
mean,
win by 3, we not
yeah,
here talking about this right
yeah, yeah.
now.
I mean, it's the same old same. It's 36-10. My goodness. And I see, beating teams without talent, is where you're unimpressed. That's not a bar for a good coach. Again, look off the field. Extend your lens, extend your observation off the field. Look at the play callers. Look at the head coaches that he beat head to head. That is where you win games too. Don't think that just the players are the reasons why teams win games. When a team is deficient in talent, sometimes the head coach can win you the game based off of play.
Yeah.
How they call the play, how they call the game.
Now he's lost you some games for sure. He lost you 3 last year.
Absolutely.
I was very
Absolutely.
valid in why I wanted him fired.
Yeah. But you see the growth. You have
Yes.
to admit when you see the growth, give him
Yes. And
credit.
that's what this is. That's what this is. This is admitting that Matt Eberflus has done things differently and it's working. This is not Matt Eberflus shouldn't have been fired after last season. He lost you 3 games. You should have been in the playoffs with Justin Fields.
Oof.
Easily.
Yeah.
He cost you 3 games. And whether it's Luke Getsy cost them for you, he's the one that can click that headset over and go, hey, let's not do that. So I still feel valid in leaving last season and going, no, he should have been fired. But he's here now. All right. Now what's the conversation we got to have based on what we've seen this season? Now you got to keep doing it, right? You go over to Jacksonville. I've talked about kind of the uphill battle that I think that's going to be for this team, why I think this is going to be a closer game. That's not an excuse for you to not have your team ready. Right? I'm going to sit here and say this is going to be a tougher game. Hey, you got to watch out for that. You got to be careful. That's a game you can lose. That don't mean don't have your team ready. Right? Like that's what it comes down to at the end of the day. Did you do it right or not? But in my mind, this is a situation where you're seeing the growth of a head coach. And so I'm going to give praise to that head coach while he's growing.
Here's another angle I want to come at that I'm just not thinking about with this is you look at the other organizations that have kept their coaches around that have don't do this in and out carousel that the Bears have done whether it comes to quarterback or whether it comes to head coach. Because
Yeah.
we've talked about head coaches being in and out of off this team for a while now. You look at an organization like Pittsburgh and Mike Tomlin. Even when they were kind of having him kind of on the hot seat, they still retained him because and yes, his track record is pretty good. Not being under 500 most seasons is very good. Being a championship Super Bowl winning coach is also awesome. But the point is that they stuck with him. They stuck him with him through the bad times. They stuck with him to the point where they saw the fruits of their patience, and that's what I even said yesterday. We're seeing the fruits of our patience. Maybe it is a good thing that we retained him because now Eberflus is evolving and he's continuing to grow as that head coach that can cover pretty much the entire team. Instead of being defensive minded, he's now at the point where he can see the entire team be
Yeah.
successful. So that to me, maybe there's something there where not only is the culture of the organization growing with the players that we have, but it's also with the mindset, hey, let's keep some of these guys around and see if they get better at their jobs instead of just constantly, shipping people in and shipping people out and subbing people, for the next hottest name that may not work.
No, yeah. Listen, and I agree. I think that now I still would have done it, but Bears went a different direction.
You
I
still would have had
agree.
Ben Johnson on that phone quick, huh?
Yeah, I mean, listen. As soon as I heard Harbaugh, I'd have been, hey, Flus, step into my office.
What is with you and that? You see that?
You see this?
That clicker of
Pack
doom.
your stuff, man.
Click of doom. Oh my God.
Soon as I'd have just pulled up the tape from that Cleveland game, just be like,
oh,
you see this?
You committed murder.
Get you. Hey, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in, showing love. 145 in the building, only 30 likes on the video, man. If you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We're going to take a quick break to hear from a word from our sponsors. Then on the other side, we got to talk about the Chicago Bears trying to do something that they haven't done since 2019.
Ooh, wow.
This is a very sad stat, and I had to scroll for a while to find the answer. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. We'll be right back right after this. Happening, Bears Nation. It's your boy Pat, the designer from the Windy City Breeze, where we keep it 100 about everything Chicago Bears. Now, if you're like me, you don't just watch the game, you live it, and that's why you need to check out BetDSI. BetDSI is where it's at if you want to put your money where your mouth is. They've been doing it for over 20 years, giving you the best odds, lightning fast payouts, and a platform that's as solid as the best O-line. Whether you're betting on the Bears to take it all the way or making clutch live bets during the game, BetDSI has you covered. And here is the kicker. Just because you're rolling with the Windy City Breeze, BetDSI is hooking you up. Sign up today with the promo code WCB, and they'll give you 120% bonus on your first deposit up to $1,000. That's free money, folks, to make sure that you're winning as you back our boys in the blue and orange. So what are you doing? What are you waiting for? Head over to betdsi.eu, use the code WCB, and start turning your Bears passion into serious cash. BetDSI, where real Bears fans get it done. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Just talking about the impact that Matt Eberflus is having on this team. Do you think that Matt Eberflus is proving that he's the right coach for this team? Let us know down in the comments below. Now we got to talk about the Chicago Bears possibly doing something that they haven't been able to do since the 2019-2020 season. That is 2 quarterbacks ago.
Who was that, Mitch?
That is Mitch.
Oh, boy.
That
Mitch.
is 1 head coach ago.
Oh, boy.
The only player on the current roster that is on this roster is Jalen Johnson. There's been quite a bit of turnover, quite a bit of change. That was 1 GM ago.
Oh.
We were hyping up the Taylor Gabriel days.
Oh, man. I forgot about Taylor Gabriel.
Hyping up the old Anthony Miller days.
Ooh, number 17. Always had his shoulder popping out. God.
Offensive line had Charles Leno and James Daniels on.
Yeah, he's still trash. That's the
I was a
old
big 2019. I was a big Roy Robertson Harris guy there, JC.
I actually liked him. I don't know.
I liked Roy Robertson Harris. What happened to him actually?
He fell off. I think he's still on the team somewhere, but he fell off.
He is still on the team.
Yeah.
Still playing.
Didn't tap into that potential like we thought he would, but yeah. I think his best seasons were here.
He's a 3-sack guy. He's had multiple seasons of 3 sacks. 3-sack guy. That's all right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You got a little something going on.
Yeah.
Got a little something going on there. Somebody said Cole Kmet as well. No, our starting tight end on that team was JP Holtz.
Ooh wee. JP
Only
Holtz.
because remember we had what's his name who would never play. Who was old boy that was on that team that would never play?
He was a tight end.
Yeah, he did the Philly special.
He had the yips.
No, he did the Philly special. Yeah, he had the
yips.
He
had the yips. He came here and just completely bombed. I remember you talking about
Trey Burton. We had Trey Burton on that team.
Man, we thought we had one with Trey.
We thought we had one. We had it.
We had it.
We had it. We didn't have it. We didn't have it. But no, the Chicago Bears are hoping to have their first 3-game win streak since the 2019-2020 season. Now there's been some rebuilds in there, but they finished out their season in 2020, beating the Texans 36-7, beating the Vikings 33-27, and beating the Jaguars 41-17. Please, everyone, remember at this time, those teams were all trash.
Hey.
Because I believe we finished that season. Is that an 8-9 finish? 8-8 finish to the season. We were 3rd in the division, and the only team behind us was the Vikings. So I say all that to say, Jordan JC, will the Chicago Bears complete the trifecta in London? Will they finally break the bugaboo of 3 games? Multiple 2-win game bugaboo. I said bugaboo, not what RG3 said. Will they finally break the bugaboo of 3 games being won in a row? A lot of 2-game win streaks, not a lot of 3s.
I mean, look. Do they have the team for it? Obviously, yes. You mentioned last time they won 3. They beat the Jacksonville Jaguars in the last one. Hey, let's do it again. I mean, obviously we know Jacksonville.
I didn't even put 2 and 2 together on that. The last time we won 3, we did beat the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey, well, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's make it 41-17. We see this offense is improving. Let's make that would be crazy. That would be a little freaky, but I would
be a little
41-17. A little 41-17. Let's do it. I mean, yeah, we know the Jags are really good over in London, but Matt Eberflus has his boys already going over there ahead of time. There will be no jet lag in the Bears when it comes Sunday. All right, we're going to be up early in the morning, have a little crepes, have a little steak and eggs, have some pancakes, and we're going to watch a win for the first time. 3 wins in a row. I'm going to put my victory shades on early again. And I'm predicting we do get that 3 in a row because that is a ridiculous stat to talk about, honestly.
It is nuts, though, because, I mean, listen, going on a streak in the NFL is difficult, right? And if you literally, I mean, what would your season end if you won 2 games in a row and always lost the 3rd? You would be.
It said 2-1. Then 4-2.
Oh, watching us do math on the you dig has got to be rough.
8-4, 10-5, 12-6,
10-5, 11. 10-5, 11-6. You'd be fine. Right. It's
Actually,
nothing
yeah, you would.
crazy, but it's just wild that like we haven't seen a team that was even. I think what the part that was shocking to me, not shocking, but the part that stood out to me is we haven't seen a team that felt capable to win 3 games in a row. And I'm not gonna lie, when I looked back at the team that did it, I was like, this team wasn't capable of winning 3 games in a row. I don't even know how they did it. I think the schedule just fell perfectly for them. Like this was not the 2019 team was not a good team.
Hey, look,
The fall off was real on that team. If I'm not mistaken, did we not have a 4-game losing streak in that stretch as well? Wasn't that the thing with Nagy? Like there'd always be a point in the season, like right in the middle, where he'd lose 4 games in a row, and you just be like, "What the heck is this?" And then he'd win like 2. So, the team was not good, but it's good to see that the Bears have put themselves in this opportunity.
Tony Tsunami said Jordan Howard was still there. Was Jordan Howard still on the team?
Was there running Jordan? No, that's got to be Monty, right?
Before that?
Tariq
I think that might have been
Cohen.
before that.
I see
Well,
Tariq
Tariq Cohen
Cohen's
and Jordan
name.
Howard were a thing. I think that was like the first version of Lightning and Thunder we had. I do remember that. I think it was Jordan and Tariq.
Because Tariq Cohen was never the starting
Before
running back.
Khalil and David.
No, Monty was there. Monty was there.
Monty was?
Monty was there.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
That was his rookie season. That was his rookie season.
Look, I mean, we got to get some wins built up here. I mean, and again, the schedule is favorable, you know, and then we go into a bye week, and then we go up against the Commanders and the Cardinals. I mean, we could turn this thing into a 4 to 5 game win streak if all it goes well. So, I mean, you're talking about something that has been done for a while. That is kind of ridiculous, but at the same time, you have a team that you feel confident can do that. You have a defense, which we said is probably on a level of a Super Bowl type of defense, and the offense is slowly but surely catching up to that. So yeah, by all accounts, I have confidence that we can do something like that. That isn't a high bar to jump over at this point. So I got confidence we can do it.
No, not at all, dog. I mean, listen, it feels like there's a great opportunity here to go into your bye week. You go into your bye week 4-2. First off, as a Bears fan, we're tinkling.
Yeah. Oh,
you know what I mean? I got the old meat sweats over here.
Oh,
if we go into the bye week,
grilling on the bye week. I'm grilling.
You know
what
I mean?
Week.
But
right.
And listen, 3-3 is not bad, but you feel like there's so many opportunities for you to really hit a stride here. Like going into this Jaguars game Sunday early in the morning, it's gonna be an 8:30 start. We are gonna do it, Breeze Nation.
We are.
Breakfast with the Breeze is happening.
Should I wear my pajamas? Probably not. I don't know.
I mean, what kind of pajamas do you wear?
I mean, hey.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying. If I pull up in my PJs, this whole show get canceled. Come on now, kick it.
What? Oh boy. Hello.
Just one. Not
Hello, boys.
You know what I'm saying? You can't pull up in my PJs. There's been many a morning where I've walked down here in my pajamas and forgot the camera was on. I was like, oh, look at that.
Oh, boy.
Hey, what a specimen.
Oh, man. Too early for all that, Pat. Too early.
Hey, you ain't never came downstairs and seen yourself on camera and be like, whoa, didn't realize we had an elephant in the family.
Oh,
hey,
What you say? I'm like 50 because I'm wearing pajamas. Come on, dog. You don't want pajamas to bed.
Hey, JC definitely looks like the type of dude that goes to sleep with a sleep cap on. You know what I mean?
You know what? And I'm
your little Christmas Carol.
I wish I had a sleep cap. I'm gonna bring that too.
You can order them. They're cheap.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
not
one.
Expensive.
With a smoking pipe too.
Yeah, you get a little smoking pipe. You get the pajamas with like the booty flap lets out. Yeah, yeah. I mean, what was the purpose of that? Well,
breakfast with the Breeze, baby.
Come through for breakfast with the Breeze, dog. That's gonna be fun as we do that live in the studio. What was the purpose of the flap, bro? What was
I think we know what the purpose of the flap was. Easy access to the toilet.
But I feel like the flap didn't go far enough down for the. You know what? We're not gonna go down this path.
That is true. Yeah, maybe back in the day they had. I don't know. I'm not.
Now, I'm a fan of the modern flap with the. Never mind. We won't speak on that.
Hello.
But no. Let's get back into some football topics. Talk about beating the Jags here. But no. What? And JC, come into my office real quick.
Oh no, not the clicker. No, coach. I promise I'll
What
do
was
better.
that, JC?
I'll do better, coach.
What was that, JC?
I get better pajamas.
Get
coach.
it together.
Oh God.
But no,
yes, we know Bears Junkie. We know what it's for.
I think that this is a great opportunity for the Chicago Bears here, especially going up against this Jaguars team for breakfast football. Because listen, I understand that they won last week. I understand that, but they're still such an abysmal team. I mean, I like that Flus is taking the team over there now, like you said, to get them used to and acclimated to the time changes and things like that by Friday, because they're over there already. It's only I didn't realize how short of a flight it is to London. Like, I'm in my mind, if I'm crossing the pond, it's 16 hours minimum. I don't really know how geography works. But like it's basically like a flight from here to LA, right? Like, it's a little bit longer than that. So like,
yeah,
but I guess because you're going, they say because you go east, it's harder on your body. I don't know how that works. I don't know if you like going against the grain of the planet or whatever, but it's one of those things where I like that, because I expected the Bears last time they did this, they went out there Wednesday, got their butts kicked in that same season. I believe we played, was it the Jaguars we played out there and got beat by? I think it was the Jaguars we played out there, or maybe it was the Raiders. Maybe it was the Raiders we played out there and we got beat by them. And it was like, we should have dominated this team, but we weren't ready for and weren't prepared for the time change that was going to happen and what it was going to do to affect the players' bodies, how the players were going to have to deal with that. Matt Eberflus said, no, get on the plane. Like, we going tonight. Like, everybody in here. And Shane, how about you step into the cockpit real quick?
Oh boy. Oh, there goes the clicker.
Good job.
It's like you scared him for a moment.
Just give him a good job. Yeah, you just got to keep him on his toes, man. You got to keep him on his toes.
Keep that clicker away from me.
But no, I think that this is a great opportunity for the Bears to head into the bye 4-2. And then you come out and you've got some teams that you should be able to deal with. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. This defense gives me so much confidence. Commanders, I love what Jaden Daniels has done.
I do.
And I'll say this: Jaden Daniels did it against a really good defense.
Yeah, that was the game I was looking at.
That was a statement game for Jaden to say, "Oh, this is just a fluke, huh?"
Yeah.
No, like, now they offense is dog water.
It is. Deshaun is just completely lost himself.
It's over, bro.
I don't know what happened to him.
Call it. It's over. He's dead.
I mean, I wouldn't. You got to give him a free massage at this point. I'm just saying, help him out. Help a brother out.
I just say he just need a flight to Vegas where all that stuff is legal. He needs a weekly flight to Vegas where they just have a massage for him where he's good, and then they send him back.
Man, put him on the Patriots. Let him hang out with Robert Kraft.
Shots from Kraft early in the morning.
I'm just saying.
Kraft,
but you know what?
mac and cheese.
I think that's another reason why we can say, by extension, we can say that Eberflus is growing as a head coach, because I'm trying to figure out why in the world has nobody else ever figured out, hey, in order to beat this team and not have jet lag, why don't we just go to London early? The Jaguars always seem to have a great record against teams there. What have teams not ever traveled early to get there?
Well, you know what happens is, so the first team usually ends up beating them.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to say that. The first team has a better record against them over there. The second team, you're kind of at a disadvantage no matter what you do, right? You fly over there right after. You can kind of get used to it. They've been here 2 weeks. They basically live here now.
I know, yeah.
You know what I mean? They've been eating beans and a crumpet for like 2 weeks. Like, I don't understand British food.
It's disgusting.
Bro,
That's a
I ain't
bad
gonna lie to you,
combination.
Hey, they got some bad food over there, bro.
That's a man.
They got some bad food.
I've been once.
I've never been, but I've seen the food.
I might be Mr. Meaty, but I do not like the blood sausages. I'll tell you that much.
Well, no, that's a wild thing in itself. But I just like, dog, like when your go-to is beans, bro. Like, what, y'all not doing nothing else today?
Yeah, don't get behind me.
Have you ever seen the show where they like have British kids try American food?
I think so. Yeah. They don't know what it is.
One of my favorite shows of all time. They gave them kids biscuits and gravy, and they was like, it looks like dog vomit. Oh my God, flavor!
Like the taste buds wake up all of a sudden.
Like,
Flavor.
oh boy, oh, you just destroyed their life. Now they gotta go back to eating regular food.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh man, but no, I think that like the being over there 2 weeks, that's just gonna it helps them out. It fits it puts them in a better situation to win games
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
then so that second team usually is just at a disadvantage no matter what. But
No matter
this is
what.
the week
Gotcha.
that you can get them. Playing them on the first week. I think this is a good move. Getting out there early, get Caleb acclimated to it, get this offense acclimated to it. If you can get them acclimated to it, there is nothing that says the Chicago Bears are not a better football team than the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Absolutely. I mean, you're going up against a team that kind of has been spiraling for the most part this season. We talked about it a few mornings ago about the fact that their team, their GM or their owner rather, is ready to pull the plug on a lot of this team. Trevor Lawrence for whatever reason is a godsend and keeps getting all these different chances to look great, but he's continuing to be mid. So again, you look at the team comparison, the Bears have a better team all across the board, defense and offensive wise, and special teams wise. Three phases. All right, let's look at let's also keep in mind Tory Taylor. He's going to put his stamp on in London as well. The
Did you
Legatron in London. I'm
did
going
you
to call it right now. The Legatron in London. That's what we're going to call the game. Legatron in London.
did you see Lance Briggs's grade for the special
You know
teams
what?
this week?
You tell Lance I got a problem with him if he talked about Legatron. What did he say?
In the D.
He gave him a D.
Yeah, special teams got a D.
You tell Lance D for D's, all right? Don't you come at my guy, Lance. I know you don't know me, Lance, but don't you come at my guy. God, that's D for disrespectful. That just doesn't make any sense. But whatever. I digress. It's a lot of D words I'm using. It is what it is, all right? But we'll move on. I think that, yes, the Bears offensively and defensively have a superior team. This again should be a easy game to win, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, I think that this should be one in the. I don't know about easy. I do think that there will be a closer game.
Yeah, they're a little better than the Panthers. I should say that. Yeah,
I don't think it is. I don't think it's an easy game. I think it'll be a closer game, but I think it'll be a closer game not because, like, if this game was in Chicago, I think you beat them like the Panthers.
True.
If this game was in Jacksonville, Jacksonville's a tough place to play. I ain't gonna lie, it'd be hot.
Really? Okay.
Well, no, like they got one of those stadiums where it's like set up for you to cook and not them.
That's crazy.
Which, well, I mean, that's smart. Listen, if I'm gonna build a stadium out there, you're gonna be in the sun, not me. I'm gonna use every advantage I got. But it's or does Jayville have a dome? Jayville might have a dome. I don't remember.
I'm not sure.
I don't do a lot of Jacksonville watching. Trevor Lawrence sucks though. But the thing for me with all of this is that because it's over there, I think that it'll be a little bit tougher to go out there and get a win. But I do think that you should get a win in this situation. I don't think that the Bears should be on the losing end of this at all. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. Let's finish out the show here. Jordan, JC, appreciate y'all, man, for rocking with your boy. Still over 200 in the chat. How many likes we got on these videos out here? Likes moving in the right direction. I like that. I like that. You like that? 150 in the building, 66 likes. Let's get it up over 100 likes on the video. I know some of y'all driving, some of y'all working. I mean, we get to a red light, just boop. I mean, just a little. I mean, did we get Sue Young involved in that? I don't think we did.
Oh, did we?
I don't think we did. I need y'all to do me a favor. Go ahead and
come
on, Sue.
Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Push the goddamn button, man.
That's why the lights weren't up.
Yeah, that'll probably do it. That'll probably do it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Sue Young coming up on 40 years old soon, man.
Is she 40?
Almost 40.
Wait, okay. Is it the real Sue Young? Because I've heard a lot of rumors about there was some random chick that said that she played Sue Young, and I didn't know if it was really her. Is this a Sue Young that?
I just know.
Really sure?
I looked it up the other day because I was like, I keep saying Sue Young, but then like, who actually played Sue Young? So I went and found Shorty because of that.
Does she have a whole bunch of tattoos?
No.
Okay, this is not the right person then. Okay, because there was an imposter Soo Young that came up out of nowhere. But
That's wild that we can just not know.
I literally thought, I was like, that can't be Soo Young.
It's
But
kind
okay,
of wild that we can just be like, yeah, I don't know who that is. I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie to you. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, showing love. Let's finish the show off on this. The Chicago Bears have made some interesting roster moves
Mm-hmm.
leading into the season, I'll say. And you got some holes that need to be filled. You've got some players who have talent that you're kind of just not utilizing.
Yeah.
And your trade deadline is less than a month away. Trade deadline goes into effect November 5th. So basically about 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away. Who on this team stands out to you as somebody who you could move to try and get something back?
Well, I'll put it like this, and here's where I want to know: are we touching any of our draft picks along with these trades?
I'm willing to touch some picks.
Okay. Oh, don't touch them like that. All right. Oh, calm down there, Pat. Okay.
Man, I'm
So
willing
so
to touch them.
so if we're willing to give up picks along with some players that are like you said are talented enough but haven't been utilized because maybe we're kind of seeing how this roster is structuring itself and we're using the right personnel at this point, I'm going to the running back room. Obviously the first guy I'm looking at is Khalil Herbert, because at this point DeAndre Swift and Rojo, those are the two guys that are being used. You got Rojo for the goal line purposes, the short gain, the short yardage gains for the first downs. That's the guy you want in there. Then obviously DeAndre Swift's your $8 million guy, or as in Pat's terms, $2 million guy that they have to use on the field. So Khalil Herbert is just kind of, out of luck with this. So, hey, he's talented enough. He does good things on the field. He has the ability to catch out of the backfield. He's a speedy enough runner. Somebody might actually want him. There are a lot of running backs that are getting hurt right now. You see Isaiah Pacheco went down, although Kareem Hunt, and also, by the way, for fantasy purposes, I got Kareem
Oh
Hunt.
boy.
Kareem Hunt might be back to Kareem Hunt with the KC Chiefs. But there might be a team that's saying, hey, you know what? Our guy is down. We need somebody to fill in that's capable. Khalil Herbert, along with maybe a second, could bring us back maybe an offensive lineman that we want. Now, we talked about those potential trades. I would love an offensive lineman. I know you're looking like you're crazy, but I'm just saying, if that trade presents itself, that's who I would want back. That's the position I'm looking for. You don't know. Yeah, you got nothing. All right. Well,
Khalil Herbert in a second gets you an offensive lineman. Who? Dan Feeney?
That second is pretty spicy.
The second is more spicy than Khalil Herbert, but I don't think
but
that
together you can fleece somebody.
That's kind of like when you take the when you've got like this great meal and then you put like that random leaf on top.
Oh yeah, that little basil, the basil that you're not going to eat.
Yeah, that basil leaf is like.
Yeah,
I didn't need that on here.
I just wanted to trick you for a second, see if you'll take the bait.
No, listen, I think Khalil Herbert is a great name to bring up because you're not utilizing him in the slightest, right? I mean, you're utilizing him on some kick return. I wouldn't be mad at moving him, but I don't think that you get anything offensive lineman value back for him. But I mean, are there some other holes that maybe you could still fill on this team? I would say if you were gonna go after anything, possibly try for maybe just like a higher pick in that for those two, because I don't see a situation where you're going to bring back a crazy player that's going to improve your team on the offensive line dramatically. Now, if it's out there, go ahead. If they want to trade you Creed Humphreys, sure. I'm all for it.
Come on, please.
I would then walk up to Ryan Poles, shake his hand, place a crown on his head, and kneel.
No, you got to bring him in with the clicker.
Hey, right, come here real quick. You see that?
Seriously? tears of joy.
Just start crying, just burst into tears. Because how the heck do you get Creed Humphrey out of that?
Oh
You know
man,
what I mean? That's all
like,
it is. Just like, you know what I mean? I just gotta bust out crying.
Ryan be like, they owe me a
But
favor. It was my old team, you know. I had to do that.
I think that Herbert is a candidate. I think he's somebody that could be moved. I think maybe you go out and get. I'll say this, right? I don't know what you get for Herbert, but I don't think that it gets you back an offensive lineman. So in that sense, are you making any moves?
Well, I mean, if you're not getting back what you need, then I wouldn't give up anybody of any value because I feel like Khalil Herbert is valuable to an extent, and that second pick is definitely more valuable. So if you're
Yeah.
not giving it up for something that is a weakness on your team, then no, you stand pat.
And that's kind of my thing right now. I will say this: do the Bears still have an eye on that opposite position of opposite Montez Sweat?
Oh,
Because
Russia, yeah.
we can feel like, okay, the Bears are in a development year. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to make things out. The Bears may not feel like that. You go into this bye week 4-2. You got very winnable games here. And then you're talking about, all right, what are we going to do to finish out this season? Because you have to think in the mindset of not where your team is now, but where's your team going to be by the time you get to the divisional games. By the time you get to the divisional games, if I have the best defense in the NFL, you know what I can do? I can make things really, really easy for my rookie quarterback versus tougher competition because he's going to have more opportunities. Did you watch last night's game at all?
I only saw the highlights.
Patrick Mahomes looks very mediocre right now.
Really? Say the aura has kind of worn off a little bit.
No, it's just nobody to throw to. It's Travis Kelce.
Well, that's true. Rasheed is down. Yeah.
There's nobody to throw to. You need talent there, right? Now, he's still winning.
Yeah.
He's still Pat Mahomes. He's still the guy that's like, I'm going to find a way to put us up. But if you don't have that defense yesterday, you're in a much bigger dogfight.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, Doug Dyer. I like that thought. I like that.
And right now, you don't have you have the teeth where you can kind of go, all right, I'm talking about Kansas City here. You have the teeth where you can kind of go, okay, we're not scoring as many points, but we've got a defense that basically is not letting anyone score the football. We're going to be okay in this situation.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's the type of team that you want. And I mean, yeah, obviously, you know, it would be fool's gold if we can get somebody like a Creed Humphrey, which I don't foresee. You know, obviously we laughed about that last time. Kansas City Chiefs are in win now mode, and they're a team that could potentially win, you know, multiple Super Bowls here. So I don't think they're going to give up a pivotal piece here that's protecting their all world quarterback. But I mean, we even talked about maybe a secondary name on there is Trey. Their guard, I wouldn't mind taking that as well. If you're talking about somebody that's still a really good name, that's better than anybody we have on this team as far as guards are concerned. And now with Tevin going down and the question marks with him and his availability and his injury history, you know, that's somebody. I know the chat mentioned Quentin Nelson. I mean, we knew how good Quentin Nelson was coming out of college. I feel like he regressed a little bit, but that's still a name that's still really good. Quentin Nelson is a guy that's clearly better than any guard that we have on our team. So, you know, maybe you package a third with Khalil for that. I wouldn't mind that as well too. So, you know, there's opportunities for us to address something and address the weaknesses by the trade deadline. It's just a matter if Ryan Poles sees something that he's going to move on. I believe he's going to be aggressive enough if an opportunity is there.
Why would the Colts move Quentin Nelson?
What's the Colts record? Aren't they under 500?
3-2?
They're 3-2?
They just lost. They lost to
they're 2-3.
2-3. 2-3.
If they okay. So
I think here's the thing, right? Just because I suck don't mean I'm just blowing my team up.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out is like, are they okay with? But then again, that second round pick, Quentin Nelson's been in the league for a little bit of time now. Maybe they say, okay, we can get another guard or somebody to protect Anthony.
Quentin Nelson's like 27 years old.
Look, I'm trying to find a way here. I'm just pipe dreaming here.
Yeah, that's exactly what you are. I think that your best scenario right now is probably to move now. And I will say this, and we'll talk about this as well. But like, is there a scenario where, because you know you're going to move on from Tevin Jenkins, if you know that, because you know you're going to move on from Tevin Jenkins, you move him with the pick to try and get a lineman? I could see that happening.
Okay.
Maybe. Like, I could see you getting a lineman in that scenario, I mean.
Okay.
But like, I don't think you're getting an offensive lineman in this trade by this trade deadline. But could I see you go out and get a guy like a Trey Hendrickson? Could I see you go out and get a guy that bolsters this defense on the other side, who is not happy in the situation that he has been in, right? I could see that. And what that does, I know most people are going to say, oh, you're investing in the defense again. No, what that does is, yes, I am investing in the defense. But at the same time, I'm making my defense probably have the best defensive line in football at that point.
Yep.
And I have an offense that is continuing to grow competency. By the end of the season, I'll be sitting here telling you guys, yeah, I know the offense is still trying to figure this out, which, guess what? The offense is going to be trying to figure this out. But nobody's scoring over there.
So we're still winning, as you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Do you want to win?
It's one of those things to me where you're in the best case scenario situation if you're going to add anything, to add that guy who is opposite Montez Sweat now, because you can save a little bit of money. Now, if you want to, I get it, if you want to just go out draft and whatever it is, but then you can spend every pick you got next season on offense, and you still got a lot of picks next season. And by the way, you could trade the Bears' second-round pick and keep the Panthers' second-round pick.
There's that.
If you don't want to trade the higher of the 2 second-round picks, there's a possibility and a scenario for that as well. But I just think with how this schedule plays out, especially with finishing out the season, if you go into it and say, we have the best defense in the NFL, bar none, and we have an offense that is moving in the right direction. If your offense by then is playing at a 15th best offense in the NFL type of level, which is a long way, by the way. We're 25th right now. If you can get up to being like a top 15, top 18 offense, you can win a lot of games with a defense like that.
Yeah.
That is still how teams win in this NFL. The Chiefs just did it for a Super Bowl last season.
Yeah.
I know there's this belief that, oh, defenses are dead. You haven't paid attention to any of the first 5 weeks of the season, because offenses have really struggled versus these defenses.
Yeah, please keep in mind that some of the better teams, even the Super Bowl winning teams, when it's time to play the better games or the best games, the defense is what's more times than not carrying that team. Like, you need a very, very good defense. So if we have any chance of improving an already, as we say, Super Bowl caliber defense, I'm down for that, because if we're going to be special, hey, why not be special now?
I'm trying to think, like, we all, like, I know we live in this offensive world, but like, who's the last team that won a Super Bowl with a bad defense? Or with a not
I mean, I want to say Kansas City.
No,
I want to say Kansas. No. And what I mean by that, I want to say the early versions of Kansas City when Pat won his first couple, because their offense was just so good with Tyreek Hill. And at that point, I think they only had like Chris Jones, a younger Chris Jones, and like a L'Jarius Sneed. They didn't have a McDuffie. They didn't have Nick Bolton. They didn't have
That's true.
a few other names on there where it's like they had a whole squad of really good players on defense. I don't think their defense was that good yet.
That's true. I get it. They were. It says they were ranked 14th.
What that?
Like, that's not top 10 though. It's not a top 10 defense. I give you that. 14. I give you that.
Yeah, some years ago. You can't say that now, but I think at the beginning.
But even then, it's like.
I mean, it's still 14. That's still not bad.
It's not the worst, but you also had the best offense in the NFL. But like,
yeah,
you have to have a great defense to win. That's why I'm not mad at adding defensively to this team. I know a lot of Bears fans look at that and they're like, oh God, not defense again. It's like, it's not saying don't add offense.
Yeah.
I think that you can add offense, but it's okay to also say this season, if you were to make a move, if you were to trade that pick, hey, I'm willing to say let's add more on the defensive side of the football and see how far that gets this young man this season. I don't think the Bears are in a wait and see kind of season. I think the Bears are in a, hey, let's go out here and get some dubs.
Let's go out here and win, and
let's go out
see
here and
what
win
happens.
some games. How
See what
about
happens
that?
come playoff time. Yeah. And yeah, I appreciate that, Chris Cross. They did have the Badger. And I'm not saying that the defenses weren't okay. They were okay. But that was the thing. They were just okay. They weren't great.
The offense was so good
It was so
that
much better.
you could have it with a top 15 defense and win,
Yeah.
which was an anomaly.
Yeah.
I think, who said it? Somebody said Silver Harvest, for the past 10 years, the Super Bowl winners had a top 5 defense 9 times. The one time it didn't was that.
Yeah.
And by the way, the Chiefs also realized, hey, we better get some defense in here pretty quick.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this Pat Mahomes thing is great, but we might need to stop some people.
Address something on the other side of the ball.
I love Crimson's comment. Gee, Pat,
what do you say?
Almost like football is a team sport. I don't know how this season's going to end up. I appreciate you guys for tuning in, showing love.
Yeah.
But I do think that this is an opportunity for the Bears to go out there and if you're going to add at the deadline, add something that's going to be. Don't give me another mullet center. I'm good.
Mullet center is crazy.
Don't give me another Dan Feeney.
Oh,
I wanted Dan Feeney to be good. I wanted Dan Feeney
Feeney
to be good just because I was like, come on, man, dude with a mullet out here balling like this. Come on now.
Yeah, you wanted him to be great.
I wanted him to be great, man. You can't go wrong. It's just putting some defensive tackle into the dirt, mullet blowing in the wind. Like, come on now. Can't go wrong with that, bro. You can't go wrong with that. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, showing love. We're going to get up out of here, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. We'll be back later today at 5, of course, for the Daily Show. So make sure that you stay tapped in with us. For Mr. Media himself, Jordan JC, it's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bird Don, one love. And, of course, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a great day. Peace.
Yes, sir. Hey man, what are we actually going to be eating for this breakfast breeze, man? Are we ordering something?
Probably do a they got a little spread at the hop.
Oh, at the old IHOP, 2-hop IHOP, we all hop to IHOP. All right.
Yeah, a little family meal, dog. It comes with like 76 pancakes, 32 pieces of bacon.
Oh boy.
17 sausages.
That gets me going. All right.
Boy. Watch yourself.
All right. Sorry.